Hey everybody, this is Sin Speaks, and today we're doing the first sector of the Disney part in Disarvil series. For all y'all that don't know, Disarvil is a three-part thing of Disney, Pixar, and villains. So today we're here with my co-host and girlfriend, Wendy, or Lucy.
Hello.
We also joined here by two special guests, Milk,
Hi.
and Kyle the Pale.
Heyo!
And for the first Disney movie, we're going to be doing all the Disney movies that we have thought of or have thought to do. The first Disney movie, we're going to be talking about Snow White. Now, we are going to be talking about the summary of of the Disney movies and the lessons we learned from the Disney movies. So, does anybody want to do Snow White?
Yes.
Okay, Kyle, go ahead.
Snow White. It's a story about this 14-year-old chick who looks like she's like 30. And like she finds this random house that's full of these like 70-year-old midgets. And she decides, you know what, I'm gonna hang it with you peeps. And then she does. And then just suddenly, like this witch is like, yo, am I pretty or not, magic mirror? And the mirror is like, no, screw you. So then she's like, okay, who is? And the mirror be like, this Snow White chick is. And she's like, oh, I get it, it's because I'm black. So she goes up to the house that Snow White is with all the 70-year-old pedophile midgets. And she's like, yo, eat this poison apple. And Snow White, since she's 14, she doesn't know any better. She's like, aight. And she eats it. And then she falls asleep. But then this random, like, 25-year-old something prince dude just comes out of nowhere, and it's like, huh, a random chick's knocked out. I should kiss her. And then she wakes up, and then it's like, oh my god, true love.
That was just the most beautiful retelling of that entire story that I've ever heard.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm gonna tell my kids that story.
Was it? Oh my god.
Anything else makes me sad about that? Anything else?
Although you left out the part where, the evil queen tried to have her killed before she lived with the, 60 to 70-year-old midgets.
Yeah, but nobody cares about that part. The midgets are the part that people care about.
I don't get why. They're midgets.
Well,
because they're awesome.
Yeah, they
just
mine
look at,
diamonds.
Tyrion Lannister, look at Wee Man, look at Hornswoggle.
Wee Man.
Yeah, everyone loves Tyrion Lannister.
Look at Mini-Me.
Everyone loves Tyrion Lannister, though, because he's
a jackass?
A drunken midget, and we're straying from the actual subject.
He's a drunken, awesome, intelligent asshole.
He's a drunken midget. I can't finish that, because I can't
If he was
that.
one of the 7 dwarves, he would be drunky.
Grumpy. I think he'd be grumpy.
Yeah.
He's grumpy.
So, the lesson behind that story is, don't hang out with older men. But that's a horrible lesson. So don't go with the actual lesson from the other stuff. If you attempt to do something only for yourself without care for others, then your life will most likely end very badly. Like when the, old witch thing person got hit off the mountain by a lightning bolt.
Yeah, because she was secretly a dragon in disguise.
Yeah.
Hey,
also, don't take poison apples from strangers.
Oh, yeah.
Don't take things from strangers, period.
No, you can take stuff from strangers, just not poison apples.
Well, don't take candy from strangers either.
But you can...
I think that movie was created basically to make kids so afraid of taking things from strangers that they don't take things from strangers.
But if you take things from strangers, then a prince will wake you up with a kiss and you'll find true love.
That's a good point.
That's a terrible lesson to learn.
Most amazing lesson is one that is horrible and terrible and you should punch in the face.
If I knew that would happen to me, I probably would have done that when I was 14 or 13. Or hell. Or even 12.
But then you would never have met me. I think.
I would have met, just I wouldn't have liked you as much. Or at all.
True.
Oh.
Ouch. So the next movie, is from 1940 something. Also, this Snow White is from 1930s, almost 100 years ago.
Wait, 1940? Hail Hitler?
1940s is Fantasia.
Oh, Hail Hydra.
Dude.
So who wants to do this one? Because I've never seen it.
Okay, I have. I love it.
Alright. Mumu, you said you were?
It's basically just Mickey with a bunch of different inanimate objects, and it's magic, and it's awesome.
It's basically it was when it came out, it was an experimental music light show with pairing unusual, or I can't say that word properly. Can somebody else say it for me?
Which word? Experiment?
No,
orchestral?
Yes, that one. Thank you. Basically, it's a bunch of loud music paired with light and interesting and rather confusing stories behind the music. But a lot of people like it, so I guess it got popularity. So,
oddly enough, it's one of the only Disney movies I have yet to see.
There is no lesson behind that one. That was just a bunch of music and light and weird things that look like they could have come off of a severe drug trip.
You see, Wendy, the greatest lesson that we can learn from this. Lucy, the greatest lesson we can learn from this is magic is awesome.
Don't take drugs, kids.
Oh, yeah,
I thought the lesson for Fantasia was go to an orchestra and then smoke as much weed as you can.
And then it'll look like that.
I think it's weed they were smoking. I think it was some other type of, like, a hallucinatory
LSD,
drug.
probably.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe they want speed.
That would explain the weird things that are... A lot of people actually left the theater during that one. Because they just couldn't take it. It was too much for them, yeah. They left. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle that level of awesome.
That's poor unfortunate souls.
You've never seen it, Ricky.
Well, yeah, but you just said that they couldn't handle a level of awesome. Hence, the poor unfortunate souls.
Well, you could handle that level of awesome.
I could totally handle that level of awesome.
Oh, I haven't seen it since I was, 6.
I think the best short from the 1940s from Disney was the one where Donald Duck was hailing Hitler, and then he turned out to be American. So he kissed the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, so the next one is another 1940s movie that probably everyone who's watching this has probably seen, is Pinocchio.
I haven't seen that for years. But
I actually haven't seen that. I just realized that.
You haven't seen Pinocchio?
When you wish upon a star, a giant whale will swallow you, and then you'll become a real boy for telling the truth.
I don't want to be a real... I want to be a little wooden puppet.
I mean, I saw Shrek and I played Kingdom Hearts. That's enough Pinocchio for me. Yeah. Apparently
Shrek
he wears ladies' underwear.
We should not be mentioning that during a Disney podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, like Mumu said, it's a story about a little wooden boy that was made from an old man who was also a woodcarver. And then a fairy came by and made the puppet to life. Because apparently that's what fairies do. Who knew?
And there's a cricket that talks.
Oh yeah, and his consciousness is a cricket.
Yeah, he's in Kingdom Hearts as well.
Yeah.
I like crickets. Crickets are fun.
And the only way for Pinocchio to be a real boy, I don't know why it would be, you're a puppet, you can't die, is to be brave, truthful, and unselfish. That's about easy to do. Huh?
Everyone can be selfish, and everybody is rather selfish.
Yeah.
Technically, isn't he only thinking about himself, though, since he wants to be a real boy? So wouldn't he always be selfish, therefore never becoming a real boy?
Ooh. Oh, real boys are ridiculously selfish.
Yeah.
all real boys are so incredibly selfish that it hurts. Typically them, but they don't know that.
Yeah. And so Pinocchio has to go inside of a giant well to save the woodcarver, because the woodcarver thought he was inside the giant well?
I guess so.
No, he went on a fishing trip, and a giant whale swallowed him, and Pinocchio had to save him.
How did Pinocchio get inside the giant whale?
He went through its blowhole.
I think
he let the whale swallow him.
I can't remember if he was on the boat with the man. I can't remember, honestly. It's been too long. We are a disgrace, guys.
So sad.
I haven't seen like anything before. I don't think I've seen much before like 70s Disney. So
wow. Yeah.
I can tell you more about modern Disney.
Oh yeah, so did I.
Old Disney.
The lesson behind Pinocchio is that kids should be kind and wise even when it's hard to do so. No one is going to take that lesson seriously, though.
It's that if you're wooden, be nice and you'll be real.
Yeah.
Everybody likes being wood.
Oh my.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, Dumbo.
I haven't seen that since I was like 3.
That was so obviously on drugs that it's
I just remember pink elephants dancing.
Yes, I remember that.
So on drugs. I think anybody who creates a Disney movie has to be on drugs of some kind.
The first 2 Disney movies about animals are about them losing their mothers.
Yeah, that's just kind of sad. Just horrifying.
Yeah. He gets separated from his mom because he falls out of a train. And he meets a mouse.
He gets separated from his mom because his mom, because a bunch of kids were teasing him for his big ears. And his mom starts basically beating those children, so she is called a mad elephant and locked away.
I mean, you can't just go around beating kids, so.
Yeah, you can't go around bullying kids either.
I mean, it's not like people actually care about that, so. Have you seen the school system?
Yeah, I'm going back there pretty soon.
Cool.
Wish me luck. I will be, like, the only white girl there. I'm not kidding.
Ouch.
I'm gonna be, like, the only... No. Yeah, there's, like, a million white people here. I fucking hate this place.
I'm going to be one of the only white girls in that school.
Yeah, at least I'm a senior. Don't have to deal with these idiots.
Alright, so the lesson of Dumbo. Moving on. What is the next Disney movie? Bambi. Right. Bambi.
Not seen Bambi. Was about 4, so I'm going to pass on knowing anything about
Bambi is so sad. It's about... Okay, so they're in the woods, and Bambi's mom gets shot by a hunter, and he's left alone by himself, and then he meets a rabbit named Thumper, and a skunk named Flower, and he falls in love with a young doe named Celine. When spring comes, there's also new life and renewal.
What happened to his dad?
His dad is the great prince of the forest. So, his dad basically left him when he was a kid to make sure that Bambi grew up big and strong, and now Bambi is on a search for his father. He finds his father dies, Bambi takes his place.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, the cycle continues. He gets doe pregnant, leaves the child, walks away, lets the child find him, dies, lets the child take his place.
So, the lesson of the story is there's a circle of life.
Yes, the lesson of the story is hierarchy.
Yeah.
Disney is messed up, guys.
Very much so. Oh, and for the viewers, we now have Princess Heather Blossom joining us.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about this. Thank God. So we're talking about Bambi?
Well, we just finished talking about Bambi.
Yeah. Oh God, I missed all the good stuff. I missed all the childhood trauma. Damn.
I think we have more childhood trauma coming up.
We have Cinderella, the most seen and most horrified movies of all time.
There was recently a new Cinderella made.
There's been like 27 new Cinderellas.
And that's not including the knockoffs.
Yeah, it's just getting sad at this point.
Yeah, everybody
Hollywood's
likes
running out of ideas.
that everybody likes because they don't like the new ones.
So basically, Cinderella is the story of this chick who has an evil stepmom and like 3 evil stepsisters, and like her stepsisters are ugly. Oh, 2 evil stepsisters, and they're ugly, and they're so ugly that when people look at them, they die, which is why she has no friends, because they all died by looking at her ugly step family.
You know
and
what?
then
That
like
almost mimics my life, and I just blew out a candle talking.
and like fucking then after that, like she starts taking drugs, and like she starts seeing everything like her mice start talking to her, like they turn into like horses. A giant pumpkin turns into like a weird onion looking carriage thing. She sees this fairy godmother that is like totally not real and is causing all of this, and then she sings the bippity boppity boo thing, and then just everybody remembers that because of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and that eventually became added to the dictionary.
Yes, me, them kids gotta stay off that bippity boppity boo crank.
And then she goes into the weird ball thing. Prince randomly finds her, wants to marry her. She runs away in fear and horror, and because, I don't know, it's midnight. And she drops a slipper, so the guy grabs the slipper.
But it's okay, because the prince has a foot fetish, so he takes her shoe and sniffs it, and then hunts her down by her scent.
Yeah, you got a question? Why did everything turn back to normal after midnight? Why didn't that one shoe, those pairs of shoes, why didn't they turn back? And why did they believe her? Because the evil
I know why they didn't turn back. She was barefoot in the original thing. Therefore, when she gets her shoes, they're completely new. Like, so everything else was made out of something. Her dress was made out of the rags of the previous dress. The carriage was made out of a pumpkin. The everything else was made out of something else except for the shoes. The shoes were new completely because she did not wear shoes. She wasn't wearing shoes.
Shouldn't the shoes just disappear?
They didn't have anything to turn back into.
Then shouldn't they just disappear?
It's magic.
Obviously not.
Yeah, so he randomly goes and tries to find one chick in an entire kingdom.
Because,
he's insane.
No one has the same foot size.
Yeah.
Stalker status.
And he might be just a wee bit, cuckoo. Horribly cuckoo.
I mean, he has a foot fetish, though. And
let's move off the topic onto the lesson before our viewers get horrified.
They aren't? Oh, we are failing.
Yeah.
Best answer.
Sorry.
The lesson behind this one is actually a few lessons. One being, no matter how bad your life is, your choice become mean or stay kind. Is kind, yeah.
Oh wow, that mimics my life way too much.
Another lesson is that it doesn't matter who you are, you may have a chance for greatness if you keep reaching towards your goal.
Doesn't matter who you are, it just matters what you look like.
You know, I think it also is a story of persistence. You know, she never stopped dreaming and she kept on hoping. If she had completely lost all hope, she would have been just too down and out to go to the ball or even have any of this great stuff happen to her.
Mm-hmm.
True. She wouldn't have gotten married, having like 7 kids. Her
stepsisters beat her up. That's like if my stepsisters had beat me horribly, the only reason I would have found sin, it would be because my sisters beat me up and I ran off to some weird woman who gave me a blue dress and glass slippers, and he apparently has a foot fetish.
So the next story, who wants to do this one? It's Alice in Wonderland.
Yes! Me!
The Johnny Depp one was better.
Drugs.
Okay, sorry. so Lunacy, go and be free.
Okay, so originally the guy who wrote this was like, it was a shock because it was like a shock to everyone who knew his work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go read the actual thing, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing, right?
Kind of.
Anyways, it's a story about a girl named Alice who daydreams, and she follows a rabbit down a rabbit hole where she finds a new world, and she gets accused of pulling a prank on a queen, and the queen wants to cut off her head, and she manages to wake up and go home.
Because, a queen randomly wanting to chop off your head is obviously normal.
You know what I find so interesting about this was the guy had to have either been schizophrenic or on drugs.
He was actually a math teacher. I mean, he was a mathematician. I've actually recently just did this musical, so we were learning about Lewis Carroll. Huh. And Alice was actually a young girl that was his boss's daughter, and he would hang out with Alice. And he wrote the book after her.
That's sweet.
That's kind of like the same reasoning behind why Peter Pan was written. Like, I'm not kidding. And both of them are really severely messed up, even in the Disney versions.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet how he made the book after her, but it's also kind of terrifying what was going through his head.
Yeah, a blue caterpillar that smokes a hookah. Okay, that's not insane.
Yeah, that's not that. That's
the
not that
Cheshire
bad.
cat, though.
Yeah.
That smile, he can outsmile the Joker.
That's how you know you got some creepy stuff when the Joker can't compare to you.
Okay, and a flower, a bunch of pansies, I think, are accusing her of being a weed because she's not a flower. And oysters? Really? What's with the oysters?
That part is very weird.
What's with the oysters in the Disney version, not the Tim Burton version, which was obviously better because it has Johnny Depp.
Carpenter and the Walrus like eating oysters.
Well, oysters are actually aphrodisiacs.
Yeah, everybody knows that, or at least they shouldn't if they don't.
What's an aphrodisiac?
Thanks for making my knowledge seem useless.
Same with chocolate and roses and vanilla, and oh my god, there are so many freaking things. Powdered rhinoceros horn.
I think that's why people keep killing the rhinos. The lesson for this one is, if you're accusing someone of something, i.e. the, queen wanting to chop off Alice's head,
off with her head!
Yeah, you need to back it up with logic and reasoning. I mean...
Alice is just nonsensical.
Yeah.
I would think it'd be like cautionary tale to just like respect and appreciate logical reasoning and stuff like that.
Alice in
because
Wonderland is
like nonsensing is pretty fun, but after a while you need a bit of some good sense in your life.
Peter Pan is next, and this is the last one I'm gonna be doing for this part because we're about half an hour now. So we're on Peter Pan. Which is funny because Wendy is same as Wendy.
Don't even dare.
Fly, Wendy, fly!
Peter Pan is a boy that never wants to grow up, so he's in the real world for some reason, and he sees this girl named Wendy, and Wendy says that she has to grow up tomorrow because she has to leave the nursery, and Peter Pan's like, come with me, you can be our mom. And so Wendy's like, sure, let's go. So Wendy and her brothers go to Neverland, this land where you never grow old. And there's these little boys called the Lost Boys, who are boys that got lost in the real world and just showed up in Neverland.
They're all
And there's
dead.
a pirate named Captain Hook.
They're all dead.
Who is afraid of crocodiles because
one ate his hand. And apparently loved the taste so much he keeps following him.
Yeah. And you can fly with
Pixie dust.
Tinkerbell's pixie dust. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and Tinkerbell is an extremely jealous person. Very.
Well, why did the Lost Boys, why are they dressed up as like in just animal costumes? Was that just to be cute, or did that
I think that was just to be cute, or maybe they were just killing all the animals.
Okay, look, they were all dead. They were lost. They were dead. They were dead children. Peter Pan was an angel sent to take children. He was an angel sent to take children from the real world to heaven when they die. Now, I don't know why Wendy and her brothers went back, but that's what it was supposed to be. The guy who wrote the book based it on this woman who was dying and leaving her 2 children behind. Her 2 boys behind.
So it's going off the book.
This is going off of pretty much everything. That's what it was written about. The guy who wrote it because he met this woman who was dying. Got really sick and was dying, and she had 2 children, 2 little boys who were left behind, and she had to take care of them. And she couldn't because she was dying, so he wrote a story about an angel who came to take them all away to a safe place where nobody can hurt them anymore, where they'll never grow up, where they'll be young and never be in pain. And the lost boys were, yeah.
So the moral of the story is don't do drugs.
The moral of the story is you're gonna die. But no, I forgot
the lesson we learned
what
here.
the lesson of this one was supposed to be.
Yeah,
I guess the lesson is if you run away from your problems, you're gonna come back to them eventually. I don't know.
Lesson we learned here is
if a strange man tells you to fly with him, you should go do it, because then you'll go to a place where you never grow up. In other words, you'll take a bunch of drugs.
Yeah, the main lessons we learn here. The main lesson we learn here is no matter how many adventures you go on, there's no place you truly belong than home. And sometimes home is not with the blood family.
Like home.
Yeah.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Sometimes home is not with the blood family, but with the family you make. Always keep your family close, even if they are not blood related.
Keep your family close and your enemies closer, so you can stab them in the back.
So this is the first part of the this is the first sector of the first part in the 3-part series. Just to make that as confusing as possible.
Basically, this is the part of a part that's a trilogy.
It's a part. It's a chapter. It's a paragraph in the chapter of the part.
Yes. And
being a bookworm, that was easy.
So this is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that could work. We're the followers of the ring.
My precious. Sorry.
And so yeah, if you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to all of us in here.
Do that again! That was awesome.
Subscribe to the preciouses.
Yeah. Yeah, go to Kyle the Pale's channel, Princess Heather Blossom's channel, and Moomoo's channel, all of which will be linked in the description below. Wendy does not have a channel, so just go to the rest of my videos and, I don't know, comment stuff on them. I guess.
I will comment exactly that.
Yeah, so we'll see you all for the next video. Auf Wiedersehen!